President Obama has indeed now announced his plans for executive action over immigration. He gave a 15-minute address from the East Room of the White House, and he wanted to appeal really to compassion and to the idea that the motivation for him taking this action, of course, aside from the logistical motivation of Republican obstructionism, is rooted in compassion for people, saying that deporting millions of people is not who we are. He also cited scripture, quote, "We shall not oppress a stranger, for we know the heart of a stranger. We were strangers once too." He went on to say, quote, "The actions I'm taking are not only lawful, they're the kinds of actions taken by every single Republican president and every Democratic president for the past half century. To those members of Congress who question my authority to make our immigration system work better, or question the wisdom of me acting where Congress has failed, I have one answer: pass a bill." This part I really like, Lewis, because President Obama was just very direct in saying Republican inaction, Republicans not passing a bill is what has forced my hand in needing to do this. And I do have the authority to do it. And if you're so worried about it, you could have passed a bill and you could still pass a bill.
And it seems he really did. He covered the whole thing here. He needed to say everything he needed to say. He said in 15 minutes, and he summed things up nicely.
Conservative lawmakers, of course, continuing to insist that President Obama is abusing his power, that he is overreaching, that he is doing things that are unconstitutional. And of course, we know from talking to legal experts that that appears to be not the case. The centerpiece of the president's announcement is a program for unauthorized immigrants who are the parents of U.S. citizens. About 4 million people will be eligible to apply for a new legal status that would defer their deportations and allow them to work legally. They have to pass a background check. They have to be paying taxes, of course. They will receive a social security card, according to officials. And then there's an additional million or so people that will have some protection from deportation through other parts of the plan. The president clearly has the authority to do this. This is sensible. This is humane. Congress does nothing, and the president really has no choice. But interestingly enough, there could be problems, not the ones that the Republicans are talking about, but other problems that come from this. And I was actually talking this morning, Lewis, with our mutual friend who's in the Border Patrol, and he was telling me they're concerned that in general, everybody he works with, including supervisors, is in favor of this, okay? But their concern is that misinformation is frequently used by cartels and coyotes and those seeking to make money off of Central and South American migrants. And his concern is that this is going to filter incorrectly into Mexico and further south by cartels into, hey, did you hear Obama? It's really easy to just go over and stay now. Give us your money. Sometimes what it takes you 3, 6, 12, or 18 months to earn, and we'll bring you over the border. Of course, we know that this has no bearing at all on the legality of crossing the border without documentation. And so our mutual friend, Lewis, is really worried that this is going to lead to a lot of people losing their money and often their lives.
That is interesting. I'm sure there is tons of misinformation conveyed by the cartels and the coyotes here all the time. And this will probably make things worse for some families and for some people. But overall, of course, we realize that this is a great action by the president.